student WPI ECE. So how many seniors are here? 1, 2. Does that mean half a senior?
No.
Hi. Okay. Juniors? Juniors? Sophomore? Yay! Okay, so we covered all the bases except freshmen. I just came from 50 freshmen upstairs from Professor Manuel's 1799 class, so that's why I'm all worked up. So I think I'm going to calm down. So what I'm going to be going through is, like, this is not supposed to be a lecture. This is actually supposed to be way more interactive. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start off with some information. If anybody has questions, holler. Any questions whatsoever. I think I'm going to basically touch upon what are your options within WPI, what are your options outside of WPI, funding situation. That seems to be, the funding situation is always critical because you might think, oh my God, I can't do another year and $45,000 of tuition. That's going to really hurt, right? And there are several, sort of clarifications I need to make about that. And then any other general questions. So WPI ECE. So all of your undergraduate students, we have the following. We have BSMS, we have regular MS, we have MN, and we have PhD. Anybody interested in doing PhD? Just want to make sure how many. Oh, okay, good. There will be continuity. Okay. So what happens is BSMS is almost what the majority of WPI undergraduate students do. And it's really, really, really nice. Okay? So, and at the same time, it's very confusing. Everybody says, what's this, what's that? And so what BSMS is the following. So BSMS, so the way it works is, in general, if you do a degree program, undergrad, grad, and you take a course, and you count it for credit, for that degree program, you can't count it anywhere else. That's it, right? So what does that mean? So let's say you take 3 courses a term, so that means you're doing 12 courses a year, and you're counting it all towards your undergrad degree for 4 years, right? And then, okay, grad school comes, and now I have to take 30 credits. So you might wonder, what is the conversion rate? And the conversion rate is 1/3 unit. Okay? So when we talk about graduate studies, we don't talk units anymore. What we talk about is credits. And 1/3 of a unit, 1/3 of a unit is 2 credits. But most WPI grad courses are 3 credits. So that converts to 1/2 units. Okay? So let's keep this in mind. So what ends up happening is BSMS is a way for WPI to encourage you who are interested in doing graduate studies, but maybe at the master's level, and you know exactly what you want to do, and you plan ahead, and you're really sort of saying, I'm going to plan ahead, I'm going to double count. So you might say, what's this double counting? So double counting, what this means is the following. What I said before, if you take a course and you count the credit towards 1 degree, you can't count it for any other degree program. WPI says you can do that. So the way it works is you can double count up to 12 credits. So 12 credits of double counting. Okay. And so what does that mean? So you can double count up to 6 credits of 4,000 level courses. And you can double count, like whatever the difference is, so at least 6 credits of 500 level WPI ECE courses. Up to, sorry, or just 500 level or 600 level. So up, no. Sorry. So you can do 6 credits or more of 500 level or 600 level. So anything grad. So what do I mean by this? So let's say somebody takes 4305, so that's my course, right? ECE 4305, ECE 4703, and let's say ECE 4902. Let's say somebody takes all of those, right? So that's a third of the unit, third of the unit, third of the unit. In graduate studies, each one of those is 2 credits. So this is equal to 6 credits. Suppose at the same time you take ECE 502 and you take ECE 504. Each one of these is 3 credits. So what happens is, most people don't think about it, for your undergraduate studies, you can take 502 and 504, any of the 500 level or 600 level graduate courses, and also count it towards your undergraduate degree. So what happens is, each one of those would be half a unit, and you would have to figure out if this meets your degree requirements for your undergrad degree, and you can count it at the exact same time to your grad school. So let's say in your senior year, you take all of this, or starting your junior year to your senior year, you take all of this, and they all count towards your undergrad degree. What happens? When you do your master's, let's say you apply for BSMS, all you have to do, because a BSMS degree is a total of 30 credits. You have to do 18 credits left. That's equal to, if you take 3 grad courses a year, 3 grad courses a semester for 2 semesters, in 1 more year, 1 more academic year, you're done with your master's. So you can do a 5-year bachelor's in the first 4 and a master's in year 5 and wrap everything up. Now, you can go crazy. What do I mean by that? What I mean to say is, I had at least one student who fit everything into 4 years. He finished his, I believe his BS requirements midway through his junior year, and the remaining part of his studies of 4 years, he also did his MS degree. And he also was, I think, Air Force ROTC. So he was everything. He produced a thesis, and he was done. So what BSMS does, essentially, is if you have if you have a 4,000 level course. So some people say, what happens if it's 4,000 from CS or 4,000 for B&E? Sure, it just says 4,000 level course. And then you take several 500 level or 600 level ECE courses, all in your undergrad degree. You can do up to 12 credits in total. So this is a 12 credit maximum. And all you need to do is 1 more year of graduate coursework for your MS degree and you're done. There are several caveats. Can I take a pause between BSMS? No. You have to do it all in 1 shot. So year 5, you do MS. Can I work full-time? Yes. Hi. Can I work full-time? Absolutely. But here's the other caveat. You need to do a minimum of 6 credits of coursework per semester. So that means you need to take 2 grad courses a semester until you're done. So most people say, well, I'm working in Waltham, and I have a long commute and this and that. BSMS might not be the best fit, right? If you're closer to Worcester, so let's say if you work at Allegro, or ViaSat or Intel, which is a little bit closer to Worcester, this might be doable. But I know folks who they work full-time, they did 2 courses a semester and finished everything in 1 shot. Yes?
So for a master's degree, how much credit do you?
So the total is 30 credits. So master's degree for BSMS, but what happens is you're subtracting off from that the double counting, right? So all you really need for the MS part is 18, if you fully double count. For regular MS, which some people take, it's 30. And for the MEng, it's also 30. Yes?
So just to clarify, so you couldn't start your MS in the 2nd semester of your 5th year. You have to start at semester 1. Like if you wanted to do like a 6-month internship that lasted past August.
Oh, that's well.
And then you work. Then you could, like if you were in a, you work year to year. I'm saying.
Okay. Well, the thing is, the way it's worded in the catalog is when you declare graduation for your BS degree, you have to start in the next either the next academic semester you need to start your MS. So for instance, suppose you have, so this is an important point. So for instance, suppose you have a scholarship, right? And a lot of scholarships are kind of tied to the fact that you are registered in an undergraduate program, let's say for 4 years, and every year you have that scholarship or whatever financial assistance. What ends up happening is, and you might want to double check this with financial aid office, is suppose you want to do BSMS, and suppose you squeeze everything to 4 years, right? If you declare, I'm now an MS student, the financial support disappears. But so what you can do is, like I've seen this, several students do this, is financial support just cares about you being declared an undergraduate student at the beginning of the year, right, for the entire academic year. So what some people have done is they hold off declaring graduation. So they're still an undergraduate student until January of their senior year, but let's say they've already taken a ton of graduate courses, right? Then they declare graduation, and then for 1 semester they are a grad student. All the time they are covered by their financial support. So the thing is, the way it's worded, like, declaring graduation is, you might have done all the things required for BS, for your BS degree, but until you declare graduation, nobody really knows that or not. The other thing is, that when you asked that question, that triggered kind of this thought process. But let's say on the other side, nothing says you got to do everything in 4 years or else, right? So if you do a co-op, if you do these off-campus experiences other than IQP or MQP, let's say you, for one reason or another, do an ISP and it's in Germany and you spend 6 months or 8 months and delays your graduation a bit. The key thing is the continuity, if you will, between your BS and MS. There cannot be any sort of break. And if, let's say, you are legitimately part of a program that like, at WPI, or it's like, some sort of justifiable reason why there's a pause or something, that's totally fine.
Okay.
I think it's just, when you declare graduation from your BS, the next academic semester, so let's say you declare graduation in May, or for May, September, you're a grad student, and there cannot be any break. Like, the summer is a little bit weird, but that's not an academic semester. Okay. That's a great question. There was one thing that was on the tip of my tongue, and now I forgot. Yes?
So, as we get our Bachelor of Science before we transition to MS, BSMS, we should still apply for diploma when we're going to graduate for Bachelor of Science. It's not going to have an impact for BSMS. Right?
Oh no, absolutely not. So what happens is, most people think that the diploma will say BSMS on it. What BSMS really is WPI's way of saying, we will give you a 12 credit break if you do this. Like, let's say if you double count all these courses, let's say 4,000 level and 500 level, and you count them towards your undergraduate degree, and you want to do a master's, WPI says, absolutely. Like, what we'll do is we'll give you a break on tuition, because what it really boils down to is tuition. What will happen is, when you declare graduation, the following semester after that, if you're interested in doing a master's, well, you don't have to do 30 credits, you just need to do 18, which is 1 year of coursework. And the other thing, so this is the point I want to raise. Tuition for a master's student for 18 credits. So what's a year of tuition fully loaded for a bachelor's degree? It's about 46,000. That's about right. For a master's, it's about 22,000. It's much cheaper. So you might think, oh, it's another 46,000 for 1 more year. So already the tuition is cheaper. The other thing is, and this kind of segues into the discussion about how to support this. So 24,000. The second thing is also, if you can find a professor that is interested in taking you on for a master's thesis, which is permitted, right? And that professor has funding. Like, for instance, like, I think all the master's students that I've had, they were all BSMS students. I think I had 6 or 7, and they were all funded through various research funds. So I had support from Lincoln Lab, from MathWorks, from Raytheon. So for that 5th year, that BSMS student didn't have to pay anything, and also did a master's thesis. It's a little intense, right? Imagine, if you will, what's a master thesis is essentially an MQP of 1. You know, it's just pretty tough. Imagine doing 2799 for 3 terms instead of 1 term, and you're doing it all by yourself. That's the intensity of a master thesis. But you have a professor working with you throughout the entire process. Okay, but that's an excellent question. So that yeah, there's a lot of flexibility in all this, and but in essence, what the school is doing is essentially, if you do this, if you can show that you can do all these advanced courses in your undergraduate studies, they'll basically say, we'll give you a break on the 12 credits, you just need to do 18. Here's the other thing. Suppose you have lots of AP credit, and even after all the double counting, you just keep on taking more and more grad courses. So let's say you don't only take 2 500 level, but you take 4 or 5. I've seen this happen. So I've seen undergraduate students take 500 level courses, and let's say 3 of them don't count for anything, they're just extra. What can you do? Since it's within WPI, there's I think the term that I use a lot is something called carry forward. So they're not being counted towards your undergrad degree. I'm going to carry forward to my MS degree and count it there. So you can even fast track even faster. So this is what that student I was describing who did it all in 4 years. So he did all his BS requirements by the middle of his junior year. That includes the graduate level courses, right? So he double counted all of those. And so all he was doing was just everything else. He had a lot, he was basically carrying forward 18 credits into his MS degree. So you can do that. So, you know, WPI is really nice because you have this flexibility. Nobody says your BS is only 4 years long. It can be as long or as short as you want it to be. But the main condition for BSMS is there's no break in between the 2 degrees. And when you get a diploma, you get 2. You have your bachelor's and you get your master's. It turns out, like that student I was describing, one who did it all in 4 years, he only walked the stage once. They just gave him 2 diplomas in the same thing. So yeah, so you want 2 of those leather folders. Now you just have the one with 2 diplomas. Anyways, so any other questions about BSMs? Oh, okay, you first.
At the maximum, how many courses is grad class that you can take in 1 year?
You can take as many or as few. I would not recommend over 3 per semester. 3, unless it's like 2 credit grad courses. 3.
So, for example, like I can take 3 500 level classes, and then 1 4,000.
Well, here's the thing. So you're talking about grad school.
Yes.
So
I mean like BSMS.
So BSMS.
Because the thing is that like I should be able to finish my bachelor degree at the end of this year. I'm a junior now, and
Okay.
I want to focus everything on like graduate courses next year.
Oh yeah.
Is that possible?
Yeah. So are you including MQP? Are you done with MQP, or is that the only thing?
I'm doing MQP and IQP right now.
Okay. So in that case, all you need to do is here's some advice. So the thing is, if you let's say declare graduation by the end of the end of your junior year. Okay, so if you declare graduation midway through, so what you need to do is in the middle of your senior year declare graduation, right? So you're kind of trying to finish everything in 4 years, right? Okay, so and I'm not sure if you have any financial or scholarship or anything like that.
I do.
You do. So same exact scenario. What happens is continue being a BS student halfway through your senior year, declare graduation in December, and then in January you're officially a grad student. But then you have all this 500 level courses that you carry forward into your master's degree.
But well, I mean like, do I need to pay anything more on the later half of my senior year?
No, because what happens is you have to double check with the financial aid or whoever's in charge of the scholarship that you're. What are the terms? From what I'm aware of, in the situation I was describing earlier, all they care about is at the beginning of the year, were you an undergraduate student?
Okay.
And then they just support it all the way through.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So and that's one. So in your case, like if you say I'm an undergraduate student, and then in your spring semester you're a master's student, you would be, but you need to double check. Maybe there are some scholarships and fellowships and financial aid that might be different. Now I forgot what I wanted to say. Oh, the two huge things, like one of which the admin assistants upstairs are always asking. If you do BSMS, so the two biggest questions are, one, when do I apply? If you look at the grad catalog, it's like someone speaking in Martian. I have no clue what it means. And I think I wrote some of it. I have no clue. This is the rule of thumb, because until this year, I looked at, since 2007, I've looked at every BSMS application that has come through the department. And what I look for, and I think this is what continues to be the case, is has this person taken at least one 4,000 or one 500 level course and got a B or better? So in the grad catalog, they say at the beginning of at the second half of your junior year or the first half of your senior year, you should apply. It's like only if it's rather convoluted. Simply put, you need to show the admission committee for the graduate program. You need to show them that you're capable of operating at a higher level in terms of being able to pass and even flourish in the graduate program. So what does that mean? Can you do a 4,000 level course and get a B or better? Can you take a 500 level course and get a B or better? Right? Because I've seen applications where, and you wouldn't believe that there are people out there that take only 2,000 level ECE courses, but they take all of them. To me, that's great, that's impressive, but it doesn't show me that in a grad program, which is 500 level courses. So it's a lot, the thinking at that level is a little bit more intricate, it's a lot more involved, and takes a lot more than taking 200 to 2,000 level courses. So what I'm looking for is evidence that the applicant can perform at that level. So you must absolutely, that would be if you were applying, you should have at least a 4,000 or a 500 level course, and more to better, B or better. If you have C's and stuff, that doesn't look so good. Because it's like, I'm not sure if we should accept him or her, that's the thing. The other thing is, let's say you get accepted into BSMS. What does that mean? You're accepted into the master's program, right? The BSMS, so what this just means is that you're allowed double counting, but you're accepted into the MS program. Some people say, well, what happens if I choose not to go into MS? Does that mean I don't even have a BS? No, it doesn't mean that. So being accepted into BSMS means that you're getting to the MS program, but you can double count all these courses if you maximally double count, or even less. Do you need to double count 12 credits? No, but economically it makes sense. Because imagine you're saving 12 credits worth of tuition, right? On the other hand, what happens is, let's say you don't choose MS in the BSMS. Let's say I just want my BS, and then I have this nice job, and maybe later I'll do a master's degree. Well, what happens is if you don't pursue the MS portion of your BSMS, you still keep your BS degree. Your MS, that's totally fine, right? You don't have to worry about it, not taking it. You can always come back later, right? It's just like when you guys apply for undergraduate studies, right? How many schools made offers to you and you say, well, thanks, but no thanks. So it doesn't mean anything, right? It's the same thing. Like you apply to the BSMS program, let's say you don't take it up. You still keep your BS if you complete all the requirements and declare graduation for your BS. And in MS, well, you didn't pursue it, and that's fine. Everyone's cool. So the big question is, let's say you accept the MS offer, right, for BSMS, and you start day one. Here I am, I'm a master's student. What is the big issue that I've heard so far? I think there's 5 or 6 students who had this issue. None of them filled out this form that Ms. Sweeney. So if you go into the departmental office and you say I'm a BSMS student, can I have the course designation form? What happens is the registrar has no clue what you're double counting. You have to tell the registrar exactly what you're double counting. So that's what the form is about. So you fill out this form, and then they say, oh, noted, this is what you're double counting. All right? So that, in a nutshell, is BSM. So any other questions?